So anyway, as I had said yesterday, Ray came over yesterday, which was Tuesday, and got here about 10:30, quarter to 11. Hung out until about, I don't know, 1, 2. So anyhow, he started to work on the audio side of the circuit that I'll show you in a minute, while I started working on the power side. Now what we had to do was bypass the bullshit in there and kind of start fresh. So we tapped off, cut off, changed off in there, which I'm now in the middle of drawing a block diagram, so whoever works on this next will know exactly what was done. And we found this wire, which is a power wire, which was feeding. Now this is a red, blue, and black. Red and blue are positive, the black is the negative side. This is hot, so I put this rubber hose over it because it's a funnel plug, and then I taped it and put the wire tie on it because I didn't want it to fall off or short out. Sometimes you put tape on these things and the vibration will wear through the tape, or if the tape falls off. This is on tight, so even if this falls off and whatever, this will still stay on. However, I'm going to end up taking this off because what I'm going to do is I'm going to run, and the blue and the black I ran to this thing. So, and Ray, I lifted this up off here. Ray got underneath the backside and found the audio outputs that I had marked on my little diagram that I had made. The only thing I forgot to put on it were the inputs or outputs. So at that point we had to take this off so he can get in there and figure that out. Anyhow, between the two of us, we got this thing basically talking. Now what I need to do is finish wiring all the power, because the talking part that we had done was just powered up with jumper cables, little jumpers. So, you know, the powers and the grounds were just jumpered. So now I got to tie them all in, and I'm actually going to put them on switches. So what I'm going to do is take the red one from here, and I'm going to tie it into this box down here. Because I took these earlier, and I took a battery, took the crap out of it, and just used the case. Soldered these within the case to the connectors, and now it's just a blank battery, so I can hook up right to here. So that's what I'm going to do. However, I may put something in here. I don't know what I'm going to do just yet, because it's 12 volt, and I don't want to take a chance of having 12 volt in here, which it'll work. You know, and Ray said he would do it as well. So at that point, we've both made a decision that we can probably work off of 12 volt instead of 9. The circuit would probably take it. Now, possibly, if they remember when they charge this thing to put the switch on charge and to make sure that this switch is turned off, because I got these switches that I had got from Ron, Wally 66, that I'm still using. Thank you, Ron. They come in handy for sure. So anyway, this and the lights, because I have them turning on, I just can't seem to get them to turn off. Could be just a bad switch. However, you know, on the remote. However, if it's not, I'm going to put another switch on just to turn the lights on and off. So when the top is on this, if you remember, there's a little door on the back where the stereo is. They'll be able to open that door, flip the switches, turn it down, and everything's fine. When you get done, flip them, turn them off. So that's kind of where we're at this point. So we'll see what happens. And as long as I remember to turn the power off, the battery will shut off. So, all right, so that's where we're at. So what am I doing now? I got to find out what we're going to do here. So I want to switch the ground side. I don't want to have an open power side unless I really have to, and I really don't want to do that. So this is going to get taken off. So we're going to do that now because I started doing the diagram, but I wanted to get this done instead of working it out at two places, because sometimes it can be a pain in the ass. You know, when you're doing it there on paper, it may not always work on the practical side. Speaking of that, I got a EMT coming over today. I certified 5 of them, I think, 5 or 6, a couple of weeks back for their blue card. Not their blue card, their pistol permit. And one of them, apparently spilled coffee on his certificate. See what I mean? How this is tight? So even if all this did come off, that wouldn't have come off. Let me get this out of my hand. And let me see if I can find my little strippers. And let's see if I can get this off. Come on. I don't want to just... Well, you know what? I want the fuse in line. See, here it goes red, blue, black into here, and then here it splits off. Again, common, the common ground, meaning black, goes off to both sides. So it's kind of independent. When Ray was looking at this yesterday, you know, and the more he was here, the first time he was here, he wasn't here too long because he wasn't really feeling good. But yesterday he was here for some time, and the more he looked at this, the more he realized what I was talking about when I was saying how this thing was not thought out. It was definitely not planned out as to what they're doing or not doing, because it's a nightmare. All right, now let me see. Cookies up there. Okay. Let me get the phone out of the way. Put that up there. Let me get the coffee over there. Oh boy, others here and there and here. And I think I showed you that the other grater came in, the bondo grater. See, I don't have to take this off right now because I'm going to be cutting it off anyway. So you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to waste time with it because this is getting cut. So if I deal with it, you follow? Yeah. So the other grater came in because there is a difference between the two, and I like the one that I had. That's the one I was winged on when I was just a boy. So that's the one that I wanted to continue to use. All right, so this, I'm wondering if I should solder it and heat shrink it or butt connect. See, the butt connects are decent. If I have a heat shrink one, it would be the easiest way to go. Solder is usually the best way to go. Okay, let me do that. Let me solder it. Let me plug in the solder iron. I'd rather do it the right way. Less chances of any moisture getting in there and corroding and shit not working and all that other good stuff. Alright, so that's plugged in. Let that sit there. Let me go get the, yep. Yeah, I think I've told you before that we have in the shop here, we have mice. You know, especially now when it's starting to cool down a little bit with all the rain. But we have mice. And I keep telling them, listen, if you want to move in for the winter, fine. Don't be chewing any of my shit up. Don't be leaving any mouse shit around. You know, and if you're going to have babies, take them someplace else because I'm not going to deal with it. You know, so I think in that case, you know, I don't know if there's an attorney out there that will help me evict mice, but I don't want to kill them. I just want to make sure that they don't go any further. That's basically the plan. And we didn't really have them until next door started acting up and tearing a few things down, and the other side doing the same thing. And then naturally, you know, they had them and they started moving this way. Because of the dogs and myself always active out here, and the dogs running around, you know, we really never had any dealings with them until they decided they needed a place to call their home. Yeah, right. So yeah, move in. So I guess the word is out that I'm a sucker to any kind of life. Okay, so what am I gonna do? I got to put some heat shrink on. So, and I was talking about that. Here's what happens. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer, I put up a fresh roll of paper towels over in the little kitchen nook area, if that's what you want to call it. And apparently I had some type of remnant of odor or something on my hands that was a food. Now, the paper towel holder, I guess I can show you real quick. I don't want to make a big deal out of my mice. Here, let me take you with it real quick. Yeah, let me trip on shit while I'm going over there. Yeah, keep my paper towels up here. This is my little nook area. Well, apparently one of them jumped from here or somewhere onto here. And I came in one morning and these were all unrolled because apparently when they jumped on it, it started to move. They started to run on it like a treadmill, unrolling the paper towels. So when I came in, apparently they were on the floor. So apparently they hit the floor and took off. Okay, fine. Well, I came in today and my Kleenex box is empty. I'm looking, I go in there to grab a Kleenex and it's empty. I'm saying, where the hell are my Kleenexes? And I'm looking, the box was sideways. Well, apparently, again, when I was eating, you know, what else do I do? You know, I had some remnant of food on my fingers somewhere. You know, all you need is a little odor of food. And apparently it was on one of the Kleenex, and they tried to figure out where the hell it was. So they emptied out my box of Kleenex because they took it and they kept pulling on them. And guess what? They kept pulling and they pulled out all my Kleenex. These little suckers are really becoming destructive. Well, now I just went to get my little container here of heat shrink, and guess what? This was tipped over. So, I'm gonna